Procurement significantly contributes to the humanitarian sector's carbon footprint, along with other environmental and health impacts. Through lifecycle analyses, this project seeks to better understand key levers to reduce those impacts and also to improve their measurement. The project is led by the International Committee of the Red Cross, the Climate Action Accelerator, and 2 teams from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, the Essential Tech Center, and the Laboratory of Environmental and Urban Economics.
International Committee of Red Cross has set an ambitious climate target and committed to reducing its emissions by 50% by 2030. As procurement accounts for more than 60% of the ICRC carbon footprint, ICRC has focused its efforts on tackling key sources of environmental impact. That's why the results of this project will help us identify solutions, potential solutions, and measure the impact of those already in place.
The analyses take into account the full life cycle of an item from raw material extraction to disposal. 3 impact categories were analyzed: climate change, human health, and an experimental indicator on plastic leakage. The life cycle stages analyzed with the highest share of impact are raw material, production, and waste management. Prolonging the lifespan of an item by using quality, durable, and repairable items is in general the most impactful lever. For plastic-based products, substituting virgin plastic with recycled plastic reduces the climate change impact by 15 to 20% and the impact on human health by 10 to 15% across the whole life cycle. Using renewable energy in production processes instead of the local energy mix results in a 10 to 20% reduction in impacts on climate change and human health. For blankets, the reduction goes up to 35% in reduction of climate change and 15% reduction of impacts on human health. Transportation is usually a smaller share of the life cycle impact of any product, as long as the transport is not by air. Likewise, packaging has a relatively small impact. For example, reducing packaging from soap bars reduces the overall climate change and human health impact by less than 2 to 3%. It does, however, risk contributing to local waste pollution.
The insights from this project have helped ICRC explore potential solutions that need to be assessed to ensure they are feasible for both our suppliers and our beneficiaries. At the same time, the project allows us to measure the progress already made, such as improving specification in the main humanitarian items and integrating renewable energy into the selection process. Results show that renewable energy and good quality recycling plastic have a significant impact for plastic items. The waste management also had a high impact, although this is much more difficult to implement except in refugee camps. That's why the design of the product to reduce the waste of these items is key.
This project has shown that achieving substantial reductions in the environmental and health impact of items used by the humanitarian sector is possible. By rethinking how we source, produce, and manage resources, we can reduce our environmental and human health footprint while continuing to fulfill our mission. Visit the Climate Action Accelerator website to explore our tools and results and to better understand where to focus your efforts on.